Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with the second episode of how to mix media-tize your papers. So in the first video I showed you a little bit more, they're still fairly simplistic, but still a little bit more mixed media-ish, wet style, my style. So today I wanted to show you how to do things with some metallic pins, some just general stenciling, and how to accent a design on a digital just using a gold or silver pin or something like that. So we're going to be doing that today in this video. But before we get started, I wanted to show you the signatures. So I mention often that I always create a ton of ephemera, and it kind of gets away from me as I'm producing videos and I'm working in many journals. And so this time I did a lot of page ideas for the BOHO Journal. So I have so much ephemera. So I decided to go ahead and sit down and start putting the signatures together so that I could evaluate what I still need. Now, because of the amount of ephemera I have, the BOHO Journal will be a 4-signature journal. It is the giveaway for the 6,000 subscriber giveaway. That is still a ways off, you guys. We are almost at 67, we're almost at 5,700. So we still have over 200 subscribers, 300 subscribers, whatever that is. Sorry, it's a cluster. So we do have a ways to go, but we're building the channel pretty quickly. So it's going to be a few months out, but I think that it's going to be well worth the wait. The journal will be ready and done far before that because it is the one that I have the most ephemera for at this point in time. So I thought I would just give you a quick idea of how I decide on my signatures. So obviously in this journal and in many, there's pre-made ephemera. So there's pre-made pages like we did this one on camera. Really, really fun. So that's going to go in the journal. But I also like to include a piece of coffee dyed paper. This is actually my own mixed media coffee dyed paper. It is a photocopy. And then from the kit, I also go in and I use various punches, and I'll be sewing on pages that don't have any punching. And then this is the vellum. I did print the vellum on the heavy duty vellum because I could actually stitch this if I wanted to. I could actually sew around the edges because it's that thick. So I'm loving that. So I like to put 2 pieces of vellum in every signature. And some of these are just random. This is just one I found on my computer. I'm not even going to try to hunt it down for you. I just liked that it was really kind of simple. I like to include a book page. Now these will have to be, this is a vintage book page, so I'll have to reinforce the paper here and decide what I want to do with that. But I always include at least one of those. And then again, more signature pages. I believe I put 4 in every journal. And again, I used a punch on that, and I found this green paper digital. Again, I'm not going to link those because they're just one-offs for the final steps of this journal. This is the one that we did in Mixed Media, how to mix media-tize your pages in episode 1. So that's that one. And then this one I'll probably sew around because it doesn't have anything interesting going on. So that is the first signature. I have to make sure I keep this. I had a sticky note on this one. It's gone. So in similar fashion, I do that. So I'm just going to take a moment and show you guys just in case you're interested. So again, more punching. This is a copy of mixed media paper as well from my stash. I'm just not impressed with how it prints out. It's not as vibrant as it is in real life, but on that note, I went to actually use some of the actual originals, but I can't bend them. Like, it's real problematic. So I would suggest if you use some of those techniques I've done in the past, making mixed media paper, make it so that you can cut it up, make it into pockets or journal cards or tags or something, because I'm unable to fold them. They want to crack and stuff. So just an FYI there, because I was really prepared to use originals in this journal and I just can't do it. This is another one that we did in a page idea series, another book page, another digital, and then 2 pieces of vellum. and then one more digital. So with some punching. This is that beautiful butterfly punch that I've used in the past. So that is signature number 2 in no particular order. I made some notes because I did pull a page out of each of these to do our project for today. So we've got this is one of our page ideas things. So that's really cool. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I ordered these beads from an Etsy shop. I'm not really thrilled with them, but they'll do. It's really heavy, and that was not quite what I was anticipating. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Another copy of some mixed media paper I made a long time ago. Another book page. This one is very, very old, and it's actually the cover of an old page, but I liked this Play to Me Gypsy, and so we're going to do something with that. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use that, but it's ready to go. Another mixed media paper from my stash, photocopy, and it is printed on the heavy vellum. And this, I believe, is paper from Rach and Bella Crafts, I believe, from her BOHO series. Some time ago, I participated in a collaboration. This is another one of our mixed media-tized pages. That's going to go in this signature. And then these butterfly ones, I haven't been linking because I bought them and I haven't been using them. But each of our signatures is going to have one of these butterfly pages. We're going to do a project with it today. And then another digital here. Maybe I didn't get through all these with, no, I did, because I did this one with the butterflies. But anyway, it'll all be good. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a chunky monkey journal, because when I have, what I do to make sure that I don't have a gator mouth, I allow 1 inch per signature. So that means in a three signature journal, my spine is always 3 inches. This will be a 4-inch spine, or maybe slightly smaller. We'll see. So, and then this is another one of our page ideas ones. So very, very cool. I really loved this project. So it's got all these flips that go like this, and they've got cards. And so that is the first page. And then this is another one of our mixed media-tized pages. 2 vellum pages. This is another one of my mixed media papers that I printed on the heavy vellum. Another very, very vintagey paper, and I loved this edge. I'm going to have to do something to reinforce it, maybe on the inside, so that it doesn't tear, but I just loved how that laid out. I don't really want to cut any of this off, so I might cut this section out so that I can have it be a pocket on the side as well. I'll decide that as I get closer. This is another one of our page ideas series papers. Another one of those really beautiful images. And again, I link everything as I use it. This is one of my this is a vintage music page thing, and I own it. It's out of copyright. And I mixed media-tized it a long time ago, several years ago, but I just love the grunginess of it. So we're going to be using that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. We're going to start on the easy things first, which is going to be the ink, the stenciling. So I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way, show you the stencils. So I have 4 stencils, so I want to grab 4 signatures, or 4 pages. So we do need to tap back into these, because these are for something else. So I know this is very confusing for you all. So I'm just going to find a page that I can do that on effectively. So we don't want to do the vellum or the book page. We could potentially do something on this one, on this inside. So let's do that. And I'm going to kind of, I'm going to have to probably rearrange all these signatures once I'm done, because I'm making a mess. So I will link these stencils. They're really great, very tall, and I love the designs for the BOHO Journal. So look at those. I think this would be really fun with this particular page, but we're going to be using those. Very, very simple technique. Doesn't take a degree in rocket science or anything of that nature, but we are going to use this. So I think I want to use the Mermaid Lagoon. I like to use archival ink because I know that it's permanent. It's not going anywhere. You do not have to do that. You just want to make sure that you don't come back in with anything, any kind of wet medium, because it will just run. So I'm positioning this so that I get a straight edge here on the inside of my page, and I'm just going to do a border on this page. So I do want it to kind of be thickish. Maybe we'll go about there, and I kind of just line it up at one end or the other. I've got it lined up at the top, and so then I'm just going to get my makeup sponge. I like to use these for that just moved. So let me see if I have some washi. I do right here. Imagine that. I never have things laying around on my table, so that is quite a surprise. As I mentioned before, my table gets cleaned off every time I work in the studio. I can't go to bed with things a mess, and so I always clean up when I'm done with a session. So there we go. So we're in position. I do realize that's a little low, but I'm not going to, and when the paper moves. That happened in another video too, didn't it? That's okay. We'll fix it. I don't want it to be too wide of a border, but you know what? I wonder if this is the best one for a border. Maybe not. I'm going to switch this up again, guys. So sorry. I feel like this is a very good design for just a random stenciling on the page. So let's do that instead. And what I love about stenciling is that you can set this here and you can do a portion of it. You don't have to do the whole design, or you could aim to get the whole design, which is difficult to do here. We might move this in the middle. How about we do that? And then we can capture the whole design. It's not quite wide enough for this page, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape there, and I'm going to put a piece of tape there just to hopefully hold that paper as well a little bit, because I'm silly that way. Yeah, it's nice and secure. I'm going to put one more piece over here just so I don't move that. Boom. Okay, and then easy peasy, just get your sponge all saturated with your ink. And again, you could use any ink. You could use oxides, you could use distress inks, whatever you want. And I'm just going to go over the whole design. Sorry for that sound. I'm not going to be able to help you with that because it's my desk moving. I've mentioned before I removed the L shape of my room, my desk, and so now my desk doesn't have anything to kind of absorb the movement of what I'm doing on the surface. So it's just things banging around a little bit. So when you get to this edge, you just want to be careful that you're not getting it where you don't want it beyond the stencil. You can go back over this, which we probably will, and we'll darken some edges. So let's just focus in a little bit more color just here and there, not everywhere, just create a little bit more darker passages of color. Get a little bit of variation. Okay. And let's do the reveal. You don't have to wait or anything because this is archival ink. So you might have to, oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. You might have to be more careful if you're using a wetter ink. I know that oxide inks tend to be fairly wet, so you have to be mindful of that. But that is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just be careful with your washi. Sometimes it can tear your paper. So, oh, I love that. Look at that. So that is mixed media, guys, because you're basically coming in and you're doing something to alter the actual paper that you're working on with a different medium. That's the definition of mixed media, is multiple mediums. So that's really, really cool. Now I can stick that right back in here. I'm going to stick it on the top so that just in case it's a little wet, it's not going to be a problem. Set that over there, and let's go ahead and do the second one. So let's find something in this signature that we can do. It can be fun to do them on the side of your paper, the sides that are more neutral. So this one would be another good one. And that teal would be maybe really pretty. But I also love the black. Well, it's not black, it's a Dusty Concord, but it almost seems black. So maybe we'll use that on here and do a bit of stenciling. So let's look at our other stencils and see if there's anything that really pops. I think I like that one right there. Looks similar to some of the stenciling in the design. So now one could come through here and do some stenciling right on here. In fact, we might experiment just a little bit with that as well, just because we can. Let's see. I don't really like that though. So let's start with what we want to do on the inside, and I'm going to do this one just on the edge of the pages. I might do both sides. So again, I'm going to line this up into a position I want. This is a great stencil because it kind of has a column effect, you know. So I'm going to secure that. Try to grab the paper just a smidge so we don't get that moving around. Okay. All right, so this time I want to use the Concord, Dusty Concord. So I'm going to grab a different sponge. Okay, we're just going to get this. Oh, that's so pretty. It's very different color than it was when we were using it previously. Probably in a video you've already seen. I can't recall which one where I used, oh, I was just inking some edges with this Concord grape, and it was like, it looked black. It was so beautiful, but really, really pretty. And we don't have to worry about this edge now because we don't have paper on the other side of that. So, and again, we're going to get some darker passages here just for some interest. Boom. Okay. Take that tape off. You can keep using that tape again and again. It's actually quite beneficial if it's not new because it has less chance of sticking to your paper. We're going to do it on the other side as well. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. Very simple way to create a mixed media effect. So I am going to do this. See, what was our middle? That was our middle. So I should be able to just position that right there. Just making sure that I've got what I want covered. It's kind of hard to tell because I can't see the top there, but I think we're good. I'll tape it down again. You don't want to get it on the part that you want to stencil though, so just be mindful of that. Pardon me just a second, the phone is ringing. Sorry about that. My husband has some things going on with his work, so I am the phone monitor while he's outside. So let's go ahead and do this edge as well. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. So now we do have to be mindful of this side because we've got the regular part of the page. We don't want to go onto further onto the page. So there we go. Now I just realized I bought some gold ink. I might try some gold with this stencil on the other side. We'll have to probably wash it off a little bit though. I don't want the Concord color because I don't think it'll show up on that other side. But look at that. It's absolutely amazing. Isn't that classy? I love it. All you need is a few stencils, guys, to do this. Look at that. We've dressed up an entire interior page. So I'm going to wipe this stencil off really quick. The ink does sit on the top of it for a good while because it's, you know, it's plastic. So I'm just going to wipe it off a bit. See if I can find a makeup brush that I can use for the gold. Now it is not going to be permanent, so I'll have to set that aside and let it dry so that it doesn't smear. So that's just something you want to keep in mind as you're deciding what you're going to use. So I had one of these for years and it dried out, so I ordered another one. So I thought maybe we would use that. So I'm going to reach for another sponge. I've got a ton of them up here, kind of one for every color, but let's use this one today. And if you want to make sure that you don't got a bunch of ink, you can just rub it off on a towel or paper towel. Looks like this was one I used for yellow. So we're going to bring this back over, and I'm going to decide, well, it doesn't really matter. This can go either way. So I think I want to just put some gold here and there. So we're just going to do it. We're not going to have a complete impression. We're not doing any of that. We're just going to play and see what happens. I haven't used this, so I'm not sure how goldish it looks. It's been ages since I used it. So I'm just going to go again here and there. Just apply some gold. See what happens. I might not like it. That's okay. I think it might be pretty though. I think it might be good. Oh yeah. It's very, very subtle. Very subtle. So let's go ahead and do a little bit over here as well. I like that a lot. Again, it's very, very subtle, but let me show you up close. So that's what you get. So this is all the gold. Now I don't know. Yeah, it's got a shimmer to it. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is all the stenciling. We just added that. So that is lovely. I am happy with that. So I'm going to set this over somewhere else so that I don't have to hold that page up. Running out of room here. And so, so the other two, because I've got other projects to go through, I am going to do 2 more pages in the other 2 signatures using these stencils, but you'll be able to see those in the photos at the end of the video. I'm going to follow the same process. I might do edges. I might do this one just kind of randomly on a page, but you'll be able to see that in the photos at the end of the video. So let's get on to the other stuff. So one of the ideas I had was, this is not as mixed media-ish, it's more of a page idea, but it's also mixed media, is I took 2 images. So this is one of the butterfly pages that's going to go in the journal, and I printed 2 of them because we're going to cut this one out and do an overlay over this one. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this page in half. And what I mean by an overlay is that butterfly is going to pop up, okay? It's going to pop up. Cool. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to cut this butterfly out. Okay. That was quite an experiment. I had to cut off the head and the antennae because it was just too much. But that's okay because it's going to show through on the bottom copy. So I'm just grabbing one of my little ink daubers so that I can ink the edges of this with this barn door color ink. So let's do that really quick just to get rid of any white that's showing through, create a little bit of interest. Could also do a little bit of gold around this, which would be possibly pretty. That's something I can do later, actually. So we're going to glue this on while it's while we're doing this, because then I can show you how to attach it to your page. It's not difficult. Even though I've never done this before, it seems really, really intuitive. So the other thing that we have to do is we need to create a space here to glue that down. So I'm going to grab, actually I'm just going to use my ruler, my metal ruler, and I'm going to grab my mat too so that I can kind of get a straight line for this. Come on. Got this funny hook that holds my cutting mat there, so that way we can kind of line this up so that I can get it straight here, so like that. And I'm just actually going to go over so that my area lines up. Okay, so then I'm going to go just on this, on the right side of these top dots, okay? And I'm just going to bend that up like that, just to kind of create a score line there. And I'm going to do the same right next to it. That's not very far in, but it should be enough. I'm just going to crease it from the same side. Well, maybe I can't do that. I'm not sure. Let's try that again. Never done this before, guys, so bear with me. Yeah, that should be enough of a area. Get rid of this. I just want a little bit of a score line there. Give that a crease. Give it a crease on the other side. Actually, we probably need to be bending it the other way. Ugh, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Okay. And let's try that other fold again. Right there. Yeah. That's a little bit tricky there. We've got a little bit of a thin spot. It's not exact, but it doesn't have to be. So see how that's not exactly in the middle? But let me show you what I mean. So I'm not going to ink this inside seam because I don't want that to be pronounced, but I am going to ink around the edges. There we go. So then this is going to go on here like that. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping that our little folding will work, but we'll see. I mean, we could technically, so the problem is we don't want to go too thick with that fold because it could affect this getting sewn into the signature. So I want to make sure that we're right on the fold, which is difficult for you to see, but I can see my two score lines right here. So that's what I'm aiming for with my glue. So see that? That kind of valley we've created. I'm just going to put my glue in there. Okay, I'm just using the white glue because it's easier to be precise with it. I'm just going to line that up, butterfly up, so that it is exactly lined up with the base butterfly. I mean, as best I can. Again, I don't strive for perfection. So if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. And I just go on, right? But that is amazing. So then when this gets sewn in, that's going to be part of the signature. And then these will be loose. So I need to do this definitely again. I didn't ink around the back side of this. I just moved that though. So I need to put a little bit more glue in there because that was not smart, Cara-Renee. Let's just put a little bit more glue there. And then we're going to set this aside. And we're going to go on to another one, another simple one. So this one I thought would be like black pen stenciling. So I have these great pens that I bought for some junk journaling in my junk journal January or July that I didn't complete. But this has got some really great design already on it, and I thought we could just go around it with a black pin and just kind of accentuate those lines. So you don't have to color them in. I am going all the way to the top because I don't know if this bleeds or not, and this may or may not be a mistake, but I wanted to show you how you could just accentuate a design really easily. Again, not looking for perfection, just, it's almost like doodling, you know, just doodling. I'm going to color in some of those bigger blocks of stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, but don't know until you try. In fact, I don't think I like it at all. Just, this was not what I had in my head to do in terms of the coloring it in, but it's working out okay. So let's just continue and see if we like it or not. If we don't, it's just a piece of paper, right? It's not the end of the world. the idea is to kind of I spy a part of your pattern on your paper and bring a different color in to kind of accent those lines. I'm not liking this at all though. There's something about it that's just not what I had in mind. So I'll probably get a different paper for the journal, but the idea was to show you what kinds of things you could do. You could also use a white gel pen and do the same thing, or you could just come in and do some doodles. So let's do some doodling on this one and see, by just kind of going, pick an area and go. See what I'm doing? So this would actually work out better than what I just showed you, because it's a little bit more freeing, because you're not following actual lines. You know what I mean? So I may do this again off camera, and then I'll just show you in the pictures which ones I felt were most successful. But I just want to open your mind to it. Acrylic pins would be great in this case, but look at that. Just accentuating those patterns. So let's go over here and do that over in this dark area a little bit. So see how we're kind of highlighting that really deep, rich color. You could do other kinds of marks as well. I'm not a huge naturalistic mark maker. It's not in my wheelhouse. But this is kind of fun and different. I don't know how long these pens take to dry, so I would advise caution. So I'm going to just kind of pepper this with the littler dots. This is kind of cool. I think this I like better. I think the black dots would work as well. Let's try with the black pen. But hopefully you guys can see what I'm getting at here. And then you can kind of go back out here to larger circles, larger dots. Okay? And you could even accentuate that line. Like that. That I love. Okay, let's do it with the black, and then we'll move on to the last project. So let's go down here and get some of the black in here. Oh, the black would be really pretty on this journal though. I think the white is equally pretty, but this is lovely. I'm just trying to get a pattern here around some of the darker passages of color. Because what it does is it helps to draw the eye into the page by highlighting those areas. So look at that. I'm really on the fence about which one I like better. I actually think the white is very complementary. The black seems to blend in a little bit too much, but I will do another one of these off camera and show you in the photos at the end. I wasn't a fan of that. I thought it would work better than it did, but that's how we learn, right? So the last one is going to be another butterfly, and we're going to use a gold pen to accent it. These pens I got a long time ago. They're, well, not a long time ago. I actually think I bought these when I was going heavy into doing some watercolor bases with some mark making, and they're really beautiful. I did do a sample. Did I throw the sample away? I think I did. I don't know what I did with my sample. Oh, it's right here. So this was the gold, which you can't really tell it's gold, but this is the silver. Look at the silver. So actually, I think I want to do the silver instead of the gold. So I've got one of each, okay? But let's do the silver because I really liked what that looked like. So we're just going to do some accenting on here. Now you do want to kind of decide right out of the gate, what is it that you want to accent? In this case, I want to accent the lines. So the lines that define the sections of the wings. So I'm just going to take my silver pen and I'm just going to follow that line. And I'm going to need to turn this as I go, guys. So apologize if that's a problem. I'm going to bring this one down as well. This would be really pretty if one wanted to heat emboss. So do this and heat emboss those lines. I'm not a big fan of heat embossing these days. I did a lot of it in my card making days. I find it very messy and unpleasant. But oh, this is gorgeous. I would suggest that you you do something with a fairly fine point, because if you're doing this kind of line work, you don't want to have fat lines, or really fat uncontrollable lines. But that's really cool. I'm going to turn this because I need to go around. I want to go around the body where it touches those lines there. Oh man, that's okay. Just to there, and just continue on. I have an idea. I would like to send two people a set of these pens. If you would leave a comment and tell me what you would do with those pens, I will send 2 sets, one set to 2 people. And yeah, I'll probably just send it direct Amazon, so you'll need to be in the United States in order for me to do that. But I think that would be a fun way to get you guys to be able to try what I'm actually doing and what I'm actually using. So leave me a comment and tell me what you would do with these pens. You can see I'm not exactly staying on the lines, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal, because it actually is showing some of the color still underneath where I'm kind of going off a little bit. It does take some focus though, because you can easily daydream your way off of the path. You have to have sort of a steady hand though. So that is gorgeous. So I'm feeling like I need to go around the edges as well. Feels a little bit weird to just leave it. So I'm just going to go roughly around all of the tips. Again, pretty rough, not really worrying about things being perfect. You know what I say? Perfection is not at play in the studio. It robs you of your joy. And I don't like anybody to take my joy. I guard it very, very strongly. This is fun. I think the gold would be pretty. I don't like the gold pin that I have for this particular purpose, but I will be sending a gold and a silver, and probably a white and a black of those other pins that I shared with you. So 4 pins. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That was a little much going around the head, but you get my drift, right? You get the point. So that is it. Look at the silver. So cool. Okay, my friends, that is it for today. We are done. And again, I want to show you the difference between the silver and the gold. So this is the gold down here, and it just doesn't have that same pop. And to me, it's hard to tell. I mean, I guess I can see it a little bit here, but it's gold. So I might do a little more play with that, but I love the silver as well. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.